Well, hello there, you faithful few, and welcome back to DMS Adventures, where we might get down, but we never turn around. So we're turning around, heading back. Oh, you saw that one, didn't you? Dang it. So about 5 years ago, I was on a quest for the perfect family car camping tent. And basically all I needed it to be was super fast to put up and super easy. So my searching brought me to a tent called the Cinch. So this was a 4-person tent that was being promoted on a Kickstarter campaign. And so there wasn't a whole heck of a lot of information on it. It's a biplane. Who's flying a biplane now? That's pretty cool though. So anyway, there wasn't a whole lot of information to be found on this other than the Cinch people putting out information for it. And I went looking for videos and I just couldn't find anything. But I went ahead and pulled the trigger anyway. So since I couldn't find any third-party information on them, I decided that when I received it, I would go ahead and post a review of it. So I decided to break it up into 3 parts. The first one was just putting it up. Second one was kind of walking around and showing everybody what was involved or what was included in it. And then the last one was just folding it up and putting it away. Now, I had never put up a YouTube video before. I'd never shot a review before. But no one was more surprised than me when those 3 videos just took off. So right now, 5 years later, it stands, between the 3 of them added together, stands like over 100,000 views. And still to this day, they provide me about half of the views that I get on a daily basis, even though I put a lot of work and effort into all the new stuff I've been doing so far. But whatever. Well, several people in the comments have asked how that tent has held up over the years. And so today we're going to do a 5-year update on the Cinch 4-man pop-up tent. So here we go. Now we just need to dig out the stakes. I know there's 5 on each side. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have used this tent probably about, I don't know, we've had it up maybe about a dozen times. And it has been in rain for sure. Nothing really. It was in maybe one goose poop. It was in maybe one really heavy storm, brief, but we've never had a drop of water in here. As the crazy Russian hacker would say, boom, done. Now, this tent comes with poles for this awning, but we don't use it. There is already a vestibule inside here, and so I've never really had a need for this. Typically, we'll just roll it up. Got 3 toggles on this side. It gets it nice up and away from the door. Vents with the kickstands. Definitely want those open. It is warm today. So we are planning to camp in this tonight. Gonna have a fire, cook some hot dogs. Now these windows are zipped on both sides. Now there are a ton of guy out points on this tent. And I think I may have used them all once. Extremely windy conditions. I'm gonna go do this on the other side too. Gonna get main doors open also. Make sure we get some air. All right, ye faithful few, well that is it. You saw how quickly it went up. Initially, if you needed to get going somewhere, I mean, you're done in like 2 or 3 minutes. So all this extra stuff's just not necessarily necessary. Yeah. It's not necessarily necessary. And next, I'm gonna take you around, show you everything a little bit more closely, and talk about some of the pros over the 5 years and a couple cons over the 5 years. Alrighty, so let's do a walk around of this thing. So I'm gonna go do the cons first because there's only 2 really. First one is, when I initially got this tent, I was a little worried about how taut it would be across the top. And as you can see right now, it is sagging in the middle there a little bit. So that kind of reduces our headroom just a touch, but it's not too big a deal because the interior tent is hanging from that. So this is a double wall tent, and we're looking basically at the very fancy rainfly. So one other thing I need to show, and this is the only place I noticed this after 5 years here, we're getting some pull away on that stitching. And then all the rest of them are looking good. Now there's always been some loose threads from day one, but it's never really been that much of an issue. Okay, so these rings here are basically shock cords that are all put together, right? Well, at some point during our move into our new place, one of these broke and it just snapped. One of these guys right here. And I figured the tent was done for, but I reached out to Cinch via email. They were very helpful. They informed me that a repair kit was included and it has these sleeves. So basically I just had to work this pull around a little bit to have it come out. It was broke kind of up in here. And so I was able to get one of these sleeves and put it over the break point, and that ended up fixing it. And I've used it I think 2 times since then, and it has been fine. So it is really cool that you're able to fix those if they break in a semi-convenient location, which that was. Now, the other thing is they include these really cool looking little stakes, and they're branded and they light up. So you just flip this down and turn them on. The batteries might be dead, it's been a while. However, you can look at the construction here. They're plastic. If you use a little too much force on them, this can happen. So although it is a fantastic idea, the design could be a little better for just ruggedness, I suppose. So those were really the only cons or problems that I've had with this tent. It has performed well in the rain, never gotten any water inside. These vestibules are very handy, still love using those. And one thing I like about these vestibules is they are big enough. If it's raining, you just step inside here and be completely, protected from the rain here. Be totally inside while you get that zipped up. So now you are in the tent, safe under the rainfly, and then you got the main body here hanging from that rainfly. And it's just a real slick design. Open this up, nice wide doors. So yeah, this has held up just great. I mean, all these connecting points are still good. Here's the inside of a vent. The ventilation is really pretty good, actually. With the fact that this tent hangs, there's room for airflow to go around this, and this is pretty much mostly mesh. I mean, you can see through a fair amount of it. Big mesh on the doors, full mesh on the sides, the big windows and the rainfly. So yeah, overall, it has just been a really good tent. Okay, well, it's time to take this thing down. And before I do, I wanted to note one of the cons that I mentioned before was how this sagged. I think you could look back at the video earlier and see how it sagged. Right now, this thing is nice and taut across there. Maybe it just Took some time, having been put away for so long, for those shock cords to fully extend themselves and pull everything tight, because this has been up for 2 nights. So now it's time to put it away. I'm going to time this and see how long it takes. So I've already got the doors zipped up, the vents pushed down, and all I got to take out are the 5 stakes on each side and then fold it up. So here we go. One thing I didn't go over with y'all is this bag here that it comes in. It's pretty good. All right, so we do first grab it from on one side and we bring it up. Bring it on its end. Grab the bottom ring on the other side, right here. Make sure we get as close to the middle as we can. Gonna roll it back with you. And not quite in the middle here, so we grab up. And then, yep, good. Get it ready, and we do a big fold in with the right arm and draw this one on over. So this might be difficult. I'm at 6 foot and I can reach it pretty comfortably. Any shorter than this might be a little difficult. So here we go. And now what you want to do is try and get what you've just folded over into a pretty symmetric ring. It's looking pretty good here. Make sure we got all 3 rings. You put it up on its end, get to the middle, and then you're going to push down and do a figure 8. Easier said than done. Abort. For the record, the last time I tried this, I got it on the first try. Jeez, skyline stuck on my watch. All right, so I gathered these up this time, and then I rotated the tent 90 degrees. Looks a little better. Oh yeah. No, come back. follow this in here. And then you got your figure 8. Take it and fold it over itself. And I tell you what, it just feels like it's gonna snap in half. But again, I've done this around a dozen times. And the only time it's snapped on me was as I showed you. It was in transit. It was in our move. Now, I've got to find the... Where is that? Just got to find this guy. Pull it out. This keeps it together while you're putting it away. Okay, so that was not the tent's fault. That was most definitely here. I forgot that you need to rotate the tent 90 degrees before you push it down into that figure 8. And then it went right in. Oh, nice. Just had a little vole or something run out from underneath the tent. Hopefully you didn't start a family in there. Again, that's the way you're supposed to do this. You put the tent between your legs and then roll this over. Man, okay, it's been several, well, I used it last year, so it's been a year since I used this and I kind of forgot already. Must be the pressure of the timer, you know. And it goes in really nice. Boom, no problem. So there we go. Cinch tent. Put away, okay, 12 minutes, but I screwed up twice. So I'll put up here what the actual time was when I remembered how to do it correctly, and that will be the real time. So as long as you remember to turn that 90 degrees before you do that figure 8, you're good to go. All right, well, everybody, thanks for joining me on this 5-year update on the Cinch 4-man pop-up tent. As I understand it, they are coming out with a new model of this at some point this year. All the stuff with the virus and lockdowns and things pushed their schedule back quite a bit, but they are supposed to be coming out with a new one of these here soon. So if you want, give them a look. I'll put a link to their Kickstarter page or their site down in the comments below. So thanks so much for joining me on this quick 5-year update review, and you all have a great day.